Hey there, Greeno. I am gonna start shuffling the cards for your reading, and I'm gonna organize the piles by past, desire, career, desired career, your work that you have to do, and your future cast. Well, I will explain more about that later here. All right, Miss Greeno, we're going to start on the reading. This pile is going to be your past experiences. This pile is your desired career. This one is your the work that you have to do to put into making this desired career happen. And this one here is going to be the future cast, or that future reading, or that future cast reading. So what we do here, from here, we just reveal the top card like so. I just had to have a moment to breathe into the reading, and that's why I stopped the camera there for a second. Here I have Newt, and she's the Queen of Swords for your past, and she is emotional communication, something to do with emotional communication. So I think your past work experience has to do with something with maybe counseling, or something to do with like a guidance counselor, maybe a teacher, something of that sort. I would just already by this alone, I could figure that maybe you had past experiences with something that has to do with something with a feminine communication, or that divine feminine communication, because the Queen of Swords to me is, of course, the feminine power, and it's the feminine power of communication to me. So something to do with motherly communication or divine communication, and something maybe that has to do with maybe broadcasting. Who knows? I don't know exactly what your job was, but we will get into that and when we spread out the cards. But already that's what I'm seeing here. And you have pretty good, I think, a sizable past, but it's not like building up. You have more things in your desired career that you want to do, and the work that you have to put into it is pretty big too, pile too. You got more in your desired career, meaning you want to do something else than what was in your past experience. But maybe you could also be incorporating the two. I don't know what is your desired career. I'm guessing it's tarot or spiritual counseling or something like that. But you're trying to use your past experiences to perhaps to move forward into your desired career. And the work you have to put into it has a lot of cards in the deck. And also your future cast has a three of stones, which is works, and we'll get into these cards here in a second. Let me go ahead and start fanning out the past experiences pile. Have the Queen of Swords. She's surrounded by prudence and debauchery, and already seems like your work or something that happened with your work, past experience, just didn't work out, whether it being someone I'm getting a feeling that somebody might have sabotaged your work, or was not looking after your best interest at hand when you were in your career in your past. And that probably was the reason why it's your past work experiences and stuff like that. And I also am getting the feeling of that whatever it was very creative, and it has to do with emotional actions and a lot of disappointments. I see that being a common theme here too. And I'm just seeing, getting the feeling that a lot of your work had to do with a lot of emotional things, and it was a lot of emotional disappointment, as well as it required a lot of work. It was not an easy job, it seems. It looks like here you had a lot of good things going for you, but you also had a lot of that something was corrupt in the job, and perhaps something morally you did not agree with. I really sensed from the get-go that there was something up with your job and something corrupt about what your job was, but I couldn't put my finger on it. But you did work hard where you got to. It just didn't work out in the end. And also, I see that you had a lot of creativity, your physical creativity, which is the magician card. You had a lot of resources at your disposal to, or you put in a lot of resources and stuff for your job, and it just is surrounded by disappointment and just action of emotion, or just took a very emotional toll on you. And also your past work experiences have to do with a lot of self-reflection, a lot of movement, swiftness, and making decisions. As well, there was some happiness there with it for a while. But you're trying to balance your worlds, or the temperance. You're trying to find temperance with your inner knowing and what corruptness is what's going on, and you just could not find that balance. I'm seeing you just couldn't find the balance of the two. I'm getting. So that is interesting. And so that's part of what I'm seeing in your past. So let me go ahead and count in the other direction and see what else comes up. I see that the corruptness is it has to do with, is a big theme here with your job, or whatever your job was, and finding that balance or that temperance within that corruptness. And that introspection is also another theme that I saw from the last go-round. And I see the Bridge of Ireland, or the page of, it would be the page of water, or the page of cups. It's surrounded by dominion and fate. So is physical emotions surrounded by your home, or what you're seeing coming in from the I'm also seeing something that has to do with dominion coming in. I'm seeing something coming in, or you're seeing something come to life, or the balance, finding the balance between dual energies, two energies. and fate has to do with it too. So it's a physical emotion about dual energies and fate. What is that? I'm trying to listen to what my spirit is trying to tell you too, or it's trying to tap on. I'm not sure what it's trying to tell me. I know that it's trying to tell me something to do with your dual, something with two energies, two spirits, or two energies, either in conflict. And well, this two spirit is surrounded by disappointment and the Bridget of Ireland, which is physical emotions, or those physical feelings or something like that. So it could be something to do with a work colleague, your home, something to do with trying to find that balance of energies in oneself, perhaps. And it was caused in that fate had to do something with it too, and that's what I'm trying to say. And that's what I'm getting from your past. And I know this is going to be an editing nightmare video, but it's going to be something that I'm going to try to talk through and talk over, because it's going to be a big reading. But something is going on with your past as far as finding something to do with things that happened that you just can't explain, and some things that had happened that you just didn't agree with. I think to summarize this past reading is that there was a lot of things that happened with your past jobs and past experiences, and a lot of them you just have a hard time. You couldn't deal with it, and you just had to either quit or just move away from it, and that's what you did. And that's what I'm getting right here. So that's an interesting past summary. So I'm going to do this, and we're going to go ahead with your desires or desired career. And you here have the White Buffalo Woman, and White Buffalo Woman is the Page of Stones, or the Page of Pentacles, which is physical. It's all about being physical, the physical world, or doing physical things. It sounded like that you are coming from a very emotional communicative situation, and now you just kind of want to ground yourself a little bit more and doing something that for yourself, and you have a very big desired career ahead of you. Let's see what we find when we jump right in. $10, $11, $12. Okay, Miss Greeno, you have a lot of things going on for you that you would like to get your hands into, it seems, for your career, or what your goals are for your career that you want to do, or the desired career you want to do. So you have a lot of, from already what I see, you have a lot of desired goals and a lot of that hidden goals going for your career. And I know it looks like a hot mess. It really does look like a hot mess during this reading table, but trust me, this A method to my madness here. And so we got Buffalo Woman surrounded by the Two of Cups, which is balancing in emotions and trying to... I see that this is a kind of a common theme through your reading too, is that you're trying to balance your emotions and not be disappointed, maybe. And trying not to be discontent either, because also I associate the Four of Cups as sometimes a thing, a card of discontentment. You're not really content with something that you are, so you're trying to find your career and being very more grounded career, and it will bring you dual happiness, and it won't bring you disappointment either. So that is very interesting. And I also have Isis here, and she's Page of Swords, and which is physical conflicts, and you have conflicts with death. Is that death? No, that's not death. You have, oh no, that's the moon card. My bad. You have physical conflicts with balancing your emotions and things that you feel like is that inner knowing, your intuitive side, and so you are trying to balance. I feel like you got the physical conflicts going on with your intuition and just knowing what will make you better emotionally, and trying to balance those emotions in your life. Over here you got the Chariot, which is a career moving forward, and you have Ra. Ra is the King of Swords, and he's thought of thought, and he's divine thought sometimes, and so you're hoping victory and trucking forward or moving forward with knowing what you know, basically, and you're trying to balance your power and elements, your knowledge of the elements going forward. You're trying to make yourself happy with pleasure, and you're trying to bring that thoughts and emotions back down to earth, and not and here you have the Tower cards, is it's surrounding your thoughts and emotions, and the oopsie daisies, and the Science card, which is also which is the Six of Swords, which is moving into a harmonious or higher understanding of your thoughts, and a harmonious understanding of what's going on with your communication, what's going on here, and trying to bring harmony to that conflict. And that's surrounding the Tower card here, which kind of really puts a punch to that. It's you're really trying to, with the Tower card there being a theme, is that you're trying to, with your convictions and your emotions, and trying to harmonize those feelings so that you don't have that Tower moment when you have your career or your desired career. And you're just kind of like the Fool. You're kind of going through and you're kind of doing something new here. And so I think you want to know what the tarot and the tarot is with your career. And so you're kind of blindly going forward with your emotions, because Venus of Endwolf is the Queen of Cups, and she's all emotions, and the Queen of Cups is all emotions. So you're going forward with your emotions and knowing, and your intuitive beliefs, and you think it will bring you happiness. You know, just going, you know, your emotions are surrounded by the Fool, which is new things, jumping into new things, and it's, you believe that it will make you happy if you keep going forward with this. You got a lot of things going on. And then Ten of Swords is also that beginning of a cycle of a new communication, new things come into play with new experiences with death. Oh my goodness. And you're feeling like that completion. Oh my gosh, it even says completion around death. And so you don't want this stable energy, this Four of Wands is that stable energy to failure, which is right here in the Seven of Pentacles. So you really want to, you're creating yourself. You don't want to bring yourself into failure. You just want to have that completion. And I love the Thoth cards for saying completion here, because that's a great key word for this, is that you just want completion. You don't want failure, and you are trying to rebirth yourself. You're trying to get yourself in a new light. Dang, you got a lot of desires. Say it like 5 million times again. And so you're just, with this justice and your justice convictions, you are trying to balance yourself and try not to have that emotional action and with Kali and failure bring you down. And you're trying to balance if that your moral compass or your moral self or your morality, trying to tell yourself that you're not going to have failure, and that emotional action that you feel inside from your past is not going to come back to haunt you, which is going to require strength, which we got here. So I want you to be strong when you're making this transition, and like I said, I'm guessing you're hoping that the tarot is going to bring that new happiness and groundedness to you. So you need that that energetic strength, that emotional strength that the Nine of Wands gives you. And over here we have the Strength card, and the Strength card is surrounded by hope and oppression. And the Ten of Wands is the completion of energy, that completion of energy, so that we can begin that new cycle again. So it takes strength to start again. It takes strength and hope to start again. So I guess it's a common theme through this reading so far, and I'm hoping I'm making sense and not kind of sounding babbliness. And if I need to, I probably could do a voiceover or whatever on my video editing. But I'm hoping I'm making sense. I'm really hoping I'm making sense and not sounding like gobbledygook, because there's a lot of information being thrown out here, and I don't really have a lot of feedback from you because it's a recording. So I'm hoping I'm making sense. I'm really hoping I'm making sense. And over here, the last card, we have disappointment, and it's being surrounded by Satiety and White Buffalo Woman. And you're hoping everything will turn out right. And it's more of a hope that everything's gonna, bringing back over here from the Star card and the Strength card, you're hoping that this disappointment doesn't overshadow your happiness, which is the Satiety card, which is the Ten of Cups here. You're just really hoping that disappointment won't overshadow the rest of the reading, because that is also a prominent part of your reading. All the up cards are more prominent than the down cards. So I think that's a very, very solid. There's a lot of hopes and fears having to go with the desired career that you have or wanting to transition to, I see. So there's a lot of hopes and fears in here, and I think I've really butchered it with your desired careers and your desired goals and outcomes for your career. And I'm going to just go ahead and jump into the next pile, which is the, or we could, I guess I'll count the other way and go ahead and do that. Okay, it still looks like a hot mess going in the other direction, but I promise you that this is going in the other direction. I see some new elements here, or other hidden elements. You have your intuition having to do with your physical communications and your physical actions. And so I think it is tarot that you really are hoping to get into, and I feel like that moon card has to do with that, and communication from Ra, or the King of Swords. So you really want to do, I think, that in communication, or that moon card having to do with talking with others, communicating with others with intuition, or using your intuition as a part of your desired career, and the victory of the Chariot, and trying to move forward with that victory with the Chariot, with that communication, and the power from the elements. And here you got the Six of Swords again. It's that harmonious communication, or harmonious thoughts and stuff like that, and trying not to see things come crashing down. And also with the Fool card again coming to play, and jumping into the unknown with your emotions and your thoughts in harmony too. And over here you got a new element, which is the Ace of Pentacles, or that beginning of bringing things happen, making things happen in your physical, the beginning of that physical, bringing that beginning stuff. You're feeling like you're the start of that physical things, and you are seeing some happiness that is coming from it, and you're afraid of being ruined by this physically starting out, is what I'm seeing here. You're afraid of doing more starting out, or physically starting out, and you just don't want to be. You're already seeing it making you happy, but you also don't want it to see it ruin you either, I see. And it might have to do with finances. I have not a clue, because the page, not pages, but the pentacles, or the coins, or the stones, or whatever it is, has to do with finances too. So I am saying that page, but the Ace of Coins right here is bringing you happiness, but you're also afraid of seeing it ruin you too. And also here, you're seeing completion. And so you got an energetic completion with the new beginnings, and you're also, you got a lot of fears going on with your desired career, because you're afraid of failure too, it seems. It's that you're afraid to see that failure taking place in that physical world. And that also 7 is the spiritual number, and the spiritual number of the divine, and you don't want to have that physical failure from your spirits, if that makes sense. You don't want to feel that failure in your soul. You don't want to feel it energetically either. And it just kind of seeing, you don't want to see this completion, or this balance of energy, not necessarily balance of energy, but the structure of energy, causing you have to start yourself all over again, basically. And I see this Kali. Kali is the emotional action, and taking emotional action of your strengths, and also you're feeling and like taking action in your strengths, and you're feeling like you're trying to take action in your moral self too, and you're owning your power. Basically, that's what the key word I'm getting is owning your power and your strengths and your moral compass, which is really, really kind of brings it back to your desired career too, because your past had to do with, I feel like it was not going with your moral code or your moral compass, whereas you feel like your desired career is going to bring you that strength and empowerment and morality back into your life. Wow. Yay! I like seeing that kind of stuff happen to people, and I really hope that it all works out for you. And here you have the hope, and hope takes a lot of strength. You got both strength cards surrounding hope, so you got a lot of hopeful things going for your desired careers. So keep trucking our way. And the next pile that we're gonna be counting out will be the work you have to do to make this dream into a reality for you. So let's go ahead and hop to it. We have Brahma, and Brahma is the king of wands, which is communication or taking action and energy, and or the thoughts and energy, and or taking charge of your energy and owning your energy. That's what I'm seeing for Brahma, which is the king of wands, is taking ownership of that energy, mastering that energy and putting it to work, this is all has to do with the work you have to do to get your career on track. And it's being surrounded by futility. Your king of wands is being blocked, I think, by indulgences and futility. Probably being blocked by uselessness and laziness. So you shouldn't let life get you down, or just let this sounds like a reading for me too, honestly. Don't let life get you in the way of doing what you need to do. And that's the work, part of the major message of the work you have to put into, is that in this two cards, even though it has bad frothy keywords in there, 8 is actually the number of commitment, and the cups is the suit of emotions, so emotional commitment. And also 7 is a spiritual number, the spirituality, God, and the divine is the number 7. And 7 has to do with that spirituality and communication and your actions and your words. You're making the things happen verbally as well as in your thoughts. Sometimes when you live in the now, you have to do affirmations for yourself and for your out loud or in your head to say, yes, this is possible. And that's what I think this 7 spiritual number is trying to tell you, is that yes, these two cards are your blockers, laziness and, stagnation, basically, with the Rider-Waite-Smith meaning and the Thoth meaning is that stagnation. So don't let things stagnate you and just keep going forward. I hope you can understand that. I'm hoping that it made some sort of sense. And you got the beginnings of communication, starting communication, and you got valor and judgment. Is that judgment? Yeah, that's the Aeon, which is judgment. And so you got valor, which is 7, again, is that spiritual number and that spiritual energy. And so you have to begin your journey with that spiritual message, that spiritual conviction that you have. And also, being the Aeon or the Judgment card is like a card of rebirth too, here with the fetus and stuff like that with the Aeon. And it's kind of has some things that it has here. And so I'm just getting all sorts of messages here, and so about the Aeon, and it's basically rising from the ashes, awaken that hidden self within you, that little baby within you. You gotta reawaken that, rebirth yourself, and re-energize yourself with that conviction you have in you that you have what it takes. And also over here, you got the beginning energies. You gotta start taking that first step, or that the work you have to do is that beginning energy, or start that energy of taking action of your communications. And you have the Hierophant card too, and it's beginning new paradigms for yourself, new traditions for yourself. See, Hierophant cards are also the card of traditions, religion, and paradigms. So you got to start creating new paradigms for yourself and saying that you can do it. Because if you live in a place of mental can't, you're going to stay in that place of mental can't. So you got to create new paradigms for you. And you also have to take action and vocalizing that this is what you need to do, and you know that you're on the right path. And take that sword, that Knight of Swords, and just know that you're on the right path. And 3 is the Empress. This is a fruitful card, and you're going to be fruitful in your success and wealth, actually, if you're going to continue this. So, wow, I want some success and wealth. So, yeah. If you keep working on it, you have the work you have to do. You could perhaps make quite a bit of money doing what you're doing, you know, with your tarot and stuff. And you just got to know that you're on the right path. You just got to keep working hard. You just got to keep trucking forward, and things will get there. And your physical world will balance itself out, because sometimes takes time for things to balance out, that you are going to get there. And so that physical balance actually is really here. So that change, that physical balance is right here with virtue. So you got that physical balance with the universe card or the world card. So you got that new beginning, the end of the old cycle and the new beginning coming. And it's a common theme for your reading here too, I've noticed. And so you've got that 3 of Wands, which is the 3 is the creative energy. And so you got virtue and that 3 going for you. So that creative energy to make change for yourself. And that creative energy is surrounded by peace, or that balance and communication, and that physical change. 2 2s. Yay. And then also that your physical worry is the work that you have to do is you have to move past the worry. You've got to move past that physical chaos, and so that you can create that inner peace and that energetic victory that you need, which is the 6 is the harmony, and Wands is energy, victory, and the Thoth being victory as well. And so you've got to move past the physical chaos. You just got to move past it and just truck right on through. And that's the best advice I have here for this direction. So let's go in the other direction. Unfortunately, my camera's running out of juice, so we might have to do this Futurecast part here after my camera charges up and I see what the chaos is going on downstairs with my damn Paula. I'm sorry to do that in your reading, Miss Green Owl. And so we got, over here we got that worry. That worry surround, you know, what we just talked about with worry, moving past that worry and stuff, and it will create that inner peace and victory for yourself. We just talked about that, so it's a very important part on making what you have to do to make this new career or this desired career work for you. So it's a very important theme to this reading. You got to move past the what ifs and the worries and the being scared shitlessness and everything that you're going through. And also over here you got that new end of the old cycle and beginning of the new cycle, and you just gotta truck right through it. And 5 is the strife, and it's the 5 is the chaos and energy, and strife is also, you know, that chaos and energy. And so you just gotta move past it, and you gotta make physical change happen for you, or that balance in your physical world happen to you. You just gotta move past all this scared, and you just gotta, you don't even have to say not be scared. You just have to recognize that you're afraid and just kind of keep going forward. Just recognize that you're upset, just keep going forward. So, and that's my best advice here for you. And then over here I that you will be successful, and you got to be successful even though you might have some things, bumps in the road like interference and the physical, not physical though, but the fruitfulness and stuff. You will have success. I do see that this area right here is a very common thing too. You will have success. You just gotta harmonize your physical world or balance that physical world a little bit to make that happen. And yeah, life is going to have interferences and life is going to have these things, but you just can't stop it from making you live. You only live once, as they say, YOLO. And so we got the Nine of Pentacles here, or that gain. Ooh. And you got gains and creating new paradigms. You got gains on that, making that rebirth happen for yourself. Again, a rise from the ashes in some of those tarot decks that we have. And you just got to rise from the ashes and create those new paradigms for yourself, and you'll have a lot of gain. You will be very fruitful in your efforts, and you just got to put the effort into it and just know. And you got a lot of fears, and a lot of my fear readings I get with careers has to do with fear. The number one thing about career readings I see is a common theme over and over and over and over again is the fear, and you drown yourself in fear. Just got to move past the fear. Know that you're going to have some failures and falls and interferences on the way, and just know that you're just going to, life has all these things anyway, so you're just going to have to do what makes yourself happy. Just do what makes yourself happy is my message, and you just got to work forward. And I hope I gave you some tools to work past some of this fear. And I think that's the thing that you have, the main theme that I'm seeing that you have to work through to be successful is you just got to work. Just keep doing what you're doing, or work hard at what you're doing. I just not keep doing what you're doing, but work hard at what you're doing, and just move past that fear. That fear barrier is going to hold you back. Don't let it hold you back. You got all this. You got this, girl. Okay. And your outcome has to do with works. Is the 3 is the creativity number, and stones has to do with the physical world. So you got works, and so you just got your physical creativity surrounded by what seems like cruelty and the Emperor card. You just gotta, and the Emperor card is being master of your own, master commander of your own life and taking charge of your life. And 3 in physical creativity is actually really good. And 9 of Swords is not as scary as most decks view it as. And the 9 of Swords has to do with that completion of communication, or that complete, or the final complete, well, not final completion, but the completion of communication and taking action, and your verbalization too. And the cruelty could be like that reverse side, but I'm not seeing it reversed for you, Miss Green Owl. I see it as that the outcome is, or the future cast is going to have a lot of physical creativity. You're going to end up doing a lot of physical creative things to do with your communications, and whether it being public speaking like YouTube or just taking charge of your future cast wise. You got to take charge of yourself and just take charge of your physical creations. And that's what I see here is the main theme of the future cast. And right here you got the Page of Wands, and it is Radha, and you have Radha is the physical energy surrounded by the Lovers, and surrounded by the final, not final, but the ascension of the your thoughts and communication. So your physical energy is surrounded by love and final ascension, not final ascension, but your ascension of thoughts and communication. And I think you have people around you. You got the tarot community. You got people that love you and that are willing to help you out and give you a leg up and trying to get your name out there and recognized. So, goals, energy, but you got to put in some effort. You can't just let everybody do something for you. You got to put in some of the work on making sure that your success will follow through, basically. And you got love and people that are going to support you through it, but you just also got to communicate to others. That's what you need to have to keep going forward. I hope I'm making sense. I really hope I'm making sense. I'm really hoping I am. And an action of action, and taking action of your beginnings of emotions, or your new emotions and your emotional of the emotions of the physical world, which is the Queen of Pentacles right here. And your emotions of the physical world and your beginning, your journey of starting new emotions or creating new paradigms where you're going to work out, actually. That's what I'm seeing here. And you got your 3, which is creative communications or creative thoughts too, and you're putting that in your emotional physical world as well as taking charge of your life. You know, the Emperor card I'm seeing is you're just taking charge of everything, and you're taking advice to heart, and you're just gonna keep going through. Actually, you got a pretty damn good outcome. You get things coming for you. You got things physically. You got just things coming for you, I think. I really do. I really, not just saying that. I see that you are empowering yourself and you're using your tools correctly. You're using your creative thinking skills. You're using your creative communication skills to get what you want, and you're going to have that emotion. Yes, you're going to be emotional about your physical world, and you're going to have new emotions come up with all this new things coming to you, but you really got good things going for you, I think, because you got that warrior, that inner taker in charge, and that inner strength to keep going forward with everything. And so let's count the other direction. Here we have sorrow right here, or that creative communication skills, and it's still surrounded by the Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles, so I don't feel like I have to talk about that. I don't feel like I need to talk about that. We've already covered that. This one is new. So we got truce, which is that resting period, or that 4 is the structure of communications and thoughts and things like that, and you're trying to structure your thoughts of defeat and your thoughts of your physical world. And so you're also trying to structure your life too, and you're going to be structuring your life. This is a future cast, so I got that if you work everything out, you got structure, and you're going to be structuring your communication skills. You're going to be the master of your communication skills, because also kings are of mastery too, and it's mastery of the physical world. So we got good things. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And don't let the 5 fool you, because it's yes, 5 is the number of chaos, of the thoughts and communication, but as long as you're willing to keep your structure and keep firm in foundations, keep those foundations, things are just not going to fall apart. But life is full of ups and downs anyways. Things are just going to naturally happen, and we don't know why. But don't get that feeling of defeat. Is my advice for this entire reading so far, is just don't let life get you down. Don't let life defeat you. Because life's chaos is going to happen, and it's going to disrupt beginnings, and it's going to go into your communications and thought too. So, what am I going to wrap up the reading with? I'm going to go ahead and just, I feel like I'm trying not to beat a dead horse a little bit too, because these readings could get very.
All I'm trying to say is that some of these readings can get very detailed, and some of the information can get very, very muddy. And that was when the camera cut off because of the battery life. And so I just finished editing my video. It's late at night, and I still feel like I owe you something for as late as I got it all together. But, so yeah, that's my reading, and I am so glad that I have got it to this far, and I'm really sorry that it's kind of like the December 29th, and I'm getting this finished. But I will post this up on YouTube, and I'll get it to you, and if you have any questions, please let me know. And just let me know, and don't feel like you have to be a stranger, and just ring me up or call me, text me, Facebook me, any kind of message me any kind of way through social media if you have any questions. And I have all questions towards the reading are free, so don't feel like you have to be pay me for my time for answering questions for you. I put that into my reading price as well, so feel free to ask questions anytime. Anytime. Just feel free. And I love you, okay? And I hope it makes sense. I did my best editing the video, and I wasn't going to go ahead and redo the video again. I love you, and I'll see you in live chats. Bye.